Hi Snapchick. I thought I would show you some of my macro shots. I'm a beginner and have used a super zoom, a Casio EX-F1 for about 2 years. 2 months ago my mother gave me her old Nikon lenses and I bought a D90 to be able to use them. The D90 gave me much more control over the photograph. I don't have a real macro, but I have an old 28 to 80mm G lens that have a minimum distance of about 10 inches from the sensor plane. I also have a 3570 with a 35mm macro function. It still means that I have to crop most of my photos to get close enough. I use my other lenses as well to get my images. Here's my first picture taken with my 180mm telelens. I found out the hard way that butterflies are really shy and don't like to sit still so you can get close enough. I cropped the image and still I'm too far from it. Here's a nice close picture of a blue flower. I'm no botanic guy, so I have no clue what it is. I composed a shot like this with a 3570 macro. Not really close enough, but the crop show some nice details. Here's a shot of a fly, taken with my 180mm telelens. It was a spur of the moment and I got everything right, but the D90 don't have enough resolution to give me the crop I want. This is the closest I could get. I have a wife that does interesting things in different materials. Every time after some rain I go out and see if I can get some colorful shots. The iron bar in this shot is a 1/4 of an inch thick, and when I crop it to 100% I get some really interesting contrasts. Sometimes I hunt pictures late in the afternoon, and I had luck to get this bumblebee, but I did a real beginner's mistake. One of the problems with macro is that the depth of field is so short and shallow that you have to take real care not to get parts of it out of focus. As you can see in the picture, I got the flower and half of the bee in focus and the rest severely out of focus. I also have the problem that my lens is not long enough, so it's very hard for me to pick out the exact focus point when I'm watching to the viewfinder. Sure, I can use the live view with the magnifying, but insects try to fly away the second before you take the shot. And the tripod, well, that takes too long, I'm afraid. This one picture is one of a series of 20 shots or something. I'm really glad that D90's autofocus is so much better than my old camera. This strawberry flower is a hybrid, so it's not white but pink. I managed to get some nice details. This shot was again taken with my old plastic G lens. I have also found that some plants have an alien look, like in this picture. Manual focus, tripod, using the 35mm macro. Looks almost like an alien queen, especially when you zoom in. Here's an old, slow friend I saw after the rain one day. This time I had the idea to let the depth of field tell part of the story. I got it exactly so it almost looks like a road, and in the picture, a long way to go. Because I live in a house with a garden, we have lots of insects around. This fellow was resting after a very long day. Finally, a movie project I was doing. A very short test in my garden with a high-speed footage and macro shots of bumblebees. All the photos are taken with a 180mm lens. The hardest thing I found filming bumblebees that are alive is that you can't tell them what to do. They do fly around doing their own business and really don't care about the human with the camera. I finally got a shot and made a very short film. Thank you.